we go. Good morning. Hi. Hey. Hello. How are ya? It's Friday. Do you like Fridays? Friday's not my favorite day of the week, but I like that you like Fridays, and I enjoy that other people get the weekend off from work. Do I get the weekend off? Yes. I get the weekend off because my husband and kids get the weekend off, and I love it when they're home. Whew. Am I awake? Yes, I'm awake. Welcome to Periwinkle Palace Arts. I'm glad you found this video. I'm glad you're here at this live. I'm Princess Bun Bun with my Bun Buns. And we do art here. And we chat. Or I talk to myself if nobody's here to chat with me. Either way, I talk. So first thing we do when we got here is I introduce the Bun Buns. If you don't know Maya yet, it just means you haven't been here yet, because Maya's my main girl. She comes with me everywhere, even when I leave the house sometimes. She's my fibromyalgia bunny. Give me a minute, I'm fixing her hair. There we go. She's my fibromyalgia bunny. I love her so much. Her little funny face makes me happy. Yes, it does. Okay, look. I've raised 3 kids. Actually, I've raised more kids than that, but 3 of my own. And, yes, I baby talk sometimes. It happens. I'm a little bit obsessed with these bunnies, if you haven't figured it out yet. If you want to know where I get them, check the description box. Today we introduce this bunny. This is the Love Rabbit. She's been through a lot, you can see, but she keeps on trying to love. She's super soft and super sweet. She's the electric version of their Love Rabbit. I think they have a couple, but I like this color one. And her name is Elektra, you know, because she's the electric version. We'll put her in, oh. You would rather sit on the outside of the cup holder? Okay. You want to put this one in the cup holder? To hold them still? Okay. All right. And second up, we have this bun. This is the ADHD bunny. The chaos version. He's a little wonky. See? He has these mismatched arms and legs for that I can only find 2 different socks feeling. He has a little chaos alchemical symbol on him. He has some streaks in his ears. I think those are mostly for when he gets the zoomies. You know? Or, you know, losing your train of thought. Whatever. Anyway, I love him. He loves you. He says you have a good Friday. Oh, he also has a little pocket on the back. You can open it up, and there's a little pocket there. And that is where Octo Bunny stays when Octo Bunny is not on my desk. He fits right in there. Look, my hands are not cooperating right now. That's his friend. You go in the cup holder then. Okay. Good morning to the buns. Good morning to you. I need coffee. And, right, so that was fun. Hang on. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Oh no. Guys, I don't usually have this problem. I can't believe I did that. I mean, I can believe that I spilled my coffee. That happens all the time. But usually, the art gods are grateful or gracious enough to me that they don't let my spills end up on my art. That one did. It's okay though. You really can't see it. And even if you can, we're about to cover it anyway. Yeah. I'd say my hands are pretty twitchy today. Alright. My tooth is still hurting. It still hurt. But it's numb right now. Today, we're going to take this art that we just dumped coffee on. We're going to let that dry. It doesn't dry as fast as markers, does it? That was rather annoying. Okay. Today, we are going to finish out this coloring. Yesterday, we finished getting everything colored. Today, we're going to do some detail work. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks that I use when I'm finishing my coloring. And we're going to sparklify it. We're going to glitter it somewhere. We're going to glitter it. Probably going to do the Emerald City in glitter. But we'll see. And then we're going to pull out the other two versions of this class that I've done and kind of contrast and pair them, if I can think straight. I have a couple of other things I'd like to do today. I don't really know what I want to work on stream next week. I forgot to plan ahead. I forgot to plan ahead for this. So, I am gonna try this weekend to clean up a little bit in my studio building so I can move some stuff around and maybe start getting my studio into there. So I'm gonna try to do that this weekend, and while I'm in there digging around, I will find something to work on, or I have an entire box at my feet of coloring classes that we can do until I get more stuff done and moved. I don't know. It's always frustrating when I've been sick for a while, because usually that means I've been sick for a couple of months. It's always frustrating because I have to get up, I have to get back into my routine, I have to work my body into being mobile again, because everything stiffens and tightens up when I'm grounded to my bed. And then I have to start doing the art reset, which is basically just picking up my entire area right here, behind me, next to me, and in front of me and my desk, and picking it up and either setting it up for another type of art, or just, cleaning it up and putting everything back where it goes. And from there, if I still have energy, I can I can start organizing and moving stuff. We're getting ready to move sometime in the next year or two. We're working on remodeling the new house. So I get a little confused and overwhelmed when I'm thinking about, okay, what am I gonna finish doing here in this house, and what am I not gonna do in this house until, and just wait on that until we get to the new house. I don't know. Okay, if you want to see what music I'm jamming to, because it's impossible for me to work or art or live or sleep or anything without music, but YouTube doesn't like it when you play music in your video if it's copyrighted. So I have my music right here. but I also can't do it my life without stopping and singing and bobbing along to the music a little bit. And I don't sing good, but you know, it is what it is. Uh, the music. Let's see if I can do it today. If I put my hand like this, and then instead of moving it up or down, I just move it over. Right here. It shouldn't take a person that much effort to point at something on the screen, right? I have no sense of direction. This is the album art in my mini player. Just let you know what song I'm listening to, why I'm bebop in my head. Ta-da. Okay, let's see how dry this is. I've been chit-chatting because, you know, I've made a lot of mistakes on this, actually. So, like, right here, we have this orange-red blob. I'm just going to trim that off. If you look at the back, you can see where all the blobs are.
This is a reminder. Take an ashwagandha.
I don't have that vitamin today. Thank you very much.
This is a reminder.
There was the blob up there. We turned that into our little symbol. We had a blob right here and the flowers that we mostly covered up, and we can do a little bit more detail cleanup on that with pencil. And where's the other? Oh yeah, on the shoulder. We had that blob right there last night, and we pretty much cleaned it up by using a lighter color and a darker color, and changing up the blend a little bit. So yeah, we fixed that too. And now what we've got colorless blender, we've got a black Prismacolor Premier, a black Prismacolor Verithin, a white Prismacolor Premier, a white Prismacolor Verithin, my favorite white pencil, which is the Derwent Chinese White. I also have Copic Opaque White. That comes with a little brush in it. And we have Daler Rowney Pro White. I use this a lot. I do want to fill this up today with the ink. I've got the instructions on my phone, and I did get my little tray from over there before I sat down this morning. I also have 3 coloring books right here that I want to show you. We were talking about grayscale art the other day, and this is a good example of grayscale coloring books, which is a little different to the, I guess, monotone way that I color things sometimes, which are out in the building, and I will bring those in today. I don't know if it'll be before lunch. It depends on whether or not it pours today or not. The weather's been weird lately. Yeah, so I'm gonna start on the dress and the detail on our figure here, our character. Something's missing. I feel like something's off. Oh, it's blue day. Friday is blue day. Ears. We got coffee. We need ears. I'm rocking pigtails today because my hair is super staticky for some reason. But see, it's floofy. What exactly floofy is, I don't know. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to start, not here where it's still damp from coffee. I'm going to start on the hat. Let's start on her hat. I'm going to start with my Prismacolor Verithin in black and my white Premier. I've been told that you can't hear my pencil sharpener very much on the chat, but I did have to mess with my volume settings the other day. So if you can hear it a lot, just let me know. And I will try to adjust the audio. Try. Okay. Set these things off of here. Let me grab. Excuse me, Elektra. Excuse me, Chaos. I need these. And yes, these are nail dotting tools. I have so many of them. You know, they're nail art supplies. And that's my pencil sharpener. I mean, my pencil eraser. Okay, I'm just gonna go along the lines here to darken them up. It doesn't matter really whether I do something in pen or pencil or marker or even paint. I always come back over my drawings with a little bit of pencil. It just helps to really clean things up and define them. And sometimes you can use that to your advantage to cover up little mistakes. So I didn't really do this edge on the hat as well as I wanted to. That's okay. All right. So even the part that's not black here, some of the green, I kind of went a little further past the actual ribbon on the hat than I wanted to. But that's okay. Because now you really can't even tell. Got a little pointy point right there. And I'm gonna come down this edge. Now, if you want to do anything with marker while you're cleaning this up, you want to do that marker stuff before you start with pencil. You just don't want the pencil all in your marker. And that's all. I mean, you can put marker over pencil, but it's not great for your marker, I don't think. I mean, you're putting a wax medium on the tip of your alcohol marker. I don't know how that would work out. In my experience, it doesn't work very well. Alright, now I'm going to come through her hair a little bit with the black. Let me sharpen this a bit. I like using the Varathins for detail work because they're very hard pencil comparatively, and that gives you a super thin point, and it keeps that point fairly well. My hands are shaking pretty bad this morning. One of the ways that I deal with that usually is I just work a lot slower. I'm okay with that. I'd rather work slower and get more accuracy. So instead of just coloring and blah, 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 I go close to my paper, my hand shakes, and I take a minute and I make sure I put the point down exactly where I want it. And then I slowly move my hand. It doesn't prevent all of the bumps and slips, but it helps. I know a few people who really enjoyed art at one point or another in their life, and when their hands started giving them problems or their eyes started giving them problems, they kind of gave up on their art because it was frustrating to not necessarily be able to control things the way you normally would, because, you know, your hands have gone weird, funky, I don't know. But it's hard to do art, I guess, when you're shaking all the time. I understand that. It's hard for me too. But I don't let it stop me. I just find different ways to deal with it. And I also, my youngest would say I just give less F's. Give less F's. You know, that's a bad word. So if you care a little bit less, you're a little bit more carefree with your art, and you let go of your perfectionism a little bit, it's not nearly as frustrating. Everything is blue. It's a little bit clearer. I'm going to go real quick through the rest of the black and just add a little bit of defining marks, a few defining marks, yeah. And then I'm going to come back through it with the white. And you'll see how this just pumps it up. One nice thing about using pencil on top of alcohol marker work is that there's no tooth, there's no texture already there, so you're not having to work on top of layers of wax. You're just working on top of marker, which sinks into the paper, so it doesn't really sit on the paper. I'm using this very sparingly. I'm not coming through the shadows or any of the blends. I'm just coming along the darkest lines a little bit. I'm keeping it really in the shadows. It looks so much more punchy. Let's work with the broom real quick. Come in on the outside of it to define these edges. Give it some little flick right there. Add some fine lines in here. My goodness. Okay. We don't need to do a lot here. Just details. Just details. Alright. Now I'm going to grab the white. Whew. Sorry guys, my mouth is just killing me. I'm going to bring this white very lightly through my highlights. I'm going very lightly. If you try to do this with a hard pressure, you're not going to get a good result. Can you see the difference between that arm and the other arm? It's just pumped up a little bit. And remember, this is where we had our little blob on the shoulder. You can't even tell it's there. And I'll show you. You can see I didn't do anything to remove the blob. Really? Where is it? It's right there. It's still there. The ink's still there. But you can't see it now. I think we did a good job there. I really don't do the details in any logical order. I should let you know that, I guess. And just wherever my eye travels, pretty much. Morning, doll. Barely need to touch the paper at all for this. You don't want to be high like me. I know. Excuse you.
Oh, excuse me. Are you live?
Yes. If you remember, we lightened the very center of this in the middle line because I didn't want it to be so dark, and I told you we could come back and adjust it also later. There we go. Come right here. Okay. And come through the broom just a touch. I really feel like this is a really fun way to finish out my pages. I really like coming in and just fine-tuning these details. It helps to build up that contrast. I'm just giving it more dimension. You can even come into places that aren't black, like this. There we go. Okay, guys, give me a minute. I didn't want it to do this while streaming. I did not want to. But you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Lidocaine and Ambisol. I hate trying to open these containers. I know nobody wants to see this. I apologize. Okay, I'm just gonna let that chill for a second. I was gonna put on lipstick this morning. I grabbed my lipstick and got out here and realized, oh, you can't do that with your tooth hurting like this, because as soon as you stick a toothpick in there, you're gonna have blue lipstick all over your face.
Okay. Bring my black in this little tree trunk here. I feel like that's very not three-dimensional looking. How's that? A little better? Okay. I'm gonna bring the white through the hair now. Let me sharpen this up really good. This is really gonna punch the hair up. I'm just gonna hold this on my tooth, okay? The policy is show up. I show up to my desk, I sit down, and we go as far as we can. Can you see the difference here? Just a touch of white just really brings that all out, doesn't it? Okay, I'm gonna bring this white down the dress now. Oh my goodness. Alright, that's lidocaine, y'all. So right through the center of the most white areas. Give me a second. Nice some amethol. Okay. Okay. I don't know if you can tell, but the coffee spilled right across here. By the time we're done with the white, it's not even going to be visible. Let's sharpen this up a little. I want to make sure I can get my fine lines here. I guess coloring over the coffee spot does add some weird texture right there. Makes that white a little bit more visible than I wanted it. Oh well. Oh no, my center is coming off. I'll fix that later. It's only got like 2 or 3 days left on it. Got a little bit more coffee over right here. Okay, so you basically can't see the coffee spots anymore. Yay. I'm gonna kind of go a little fuzzy right here on the inside of the dress fold at the bottom. Just a touch. Sharpen. And now we're gonna handle these little areas right here. If you remember, we used the colorless blender down here right before we finished up last night to remove some of the green that I had like kind of let it smudgy down there. And now when we bring the white over it, you can barely see that there was yellow there. This spot right here is going to be a good representation. I'm gonna grab my favorite white pencil here, and I'm gonna bring it back over this center area. I'm just coming through the areas that I want to be bright white with my Derwent white pencil. Okay. And that's pretty much the dress area finished. Now I'm gonna come up here to the Emerald City, and I'm gonna use this white pencil for this. I'm just gonna add some white in select areas. Oops. That's pretty easy. Let me give these things a look, okay? Better. I'm gonna grab my sienna brown Prismacolor pencil. We're gonna go through the yellow brick road here. Very softly. I'm kind of being a little squiggly with it for two reasons. One, my hand is doing like this. And two, this is far away, so it's fine. Now I'm gonna come along the rest of the bricks in the road, and I'm gonna try to add some variation, and then we're gonna come back in and add some grass spots, I guess. Come along the edge of the road. I'm just giving it some fuzziness. And not just on the ones, but some of them like in the middle. Like right here, I can kind of come across here. Make it look a little cracked. I guess I used to think that when you were doing details, you need to be super precise, but I've found over time that that's not necessarily true. Once you have the general kind of thing on the paper, you can just adding in a few strokes here or there, um, you can be a little messy with it. You don't have to be super precise because it's going to come out fine. Make that one look a little bit cracked. Those are good places to stick grass too. This really brings out the brick pattern underneath the dress where we put that cast shadow underneath the dress, and it kind of blocks out the brick look. But now we can see it. Okay, I'm gonna go through this kind of quick and just add some dashes here. You like that? I do. I'm thinking if I should do the grass and marker or not. What do you think, Maya? Marker? Alright, girl. Let's grab YG67, YG63, and G24. And I'm just gonna kind of just put this in random little spots. We're gonna cover up this little mistake we made there. There are a couple of things right here. Anywhere that's kind of messy. A few flicks here. like that. Oh, why did I do that? I know better. Whoops. Y'all, I have a single blob in the same spot that it was last night. Alright. Take the cap off of here. That was annoying. Okay. Well, let's see what I can do with this blob real quick. I did not mean to mess this up like this. I just gave myself more to fix. Bummer. Alright. I was gonna come back through here like this anyway, but I didn't mean to do that. Big old blob. In the same spot, too. I think we covered it enough for it to be hidden. I mean, let me put a little white up here on this tulip. Oh my goodness. Okay. Since I have the white out and I'm focused on it at the moment, I'm just going to go back through the greenery in here and touch it all up. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. Oh, right. Tulips. I'm gonna come through here and just add little white areas. On these ones that are closer up, I'll do a little more detail, but mostly I'm just going through here kind of randomly. On the lightest areas, I try to aim the white to go there, but if it doesn't, it's okay.
So good. Knock on wood. Crossing fingers, baby.
And now I'm going to come through these up front with a little bit more precision. Not a lot. Just adding in a little bit of highlighting. Oh no. What did I just do? I'm not having the exactly best morning here. To avoid another marker blob, I'm gonna grab pencils. Dark green, olive green, and grass green. So dark green, olive, and grass. Sharpen it. Let me see if I can fix some of this stuff right here. I wish you'd see what just for me. I'm not doing all of this, just little touches here and there. Just giving everything a little bit more definition. I really was going to do this with markers, but my hands are so shaky right now that trying to touch marker to the page without it blobbing doesn't seem to be like it's happening at the moment, so I'm just going with what I can do. In most cases, I can just use black and white to pump these areas up. But sometimes you want to grab an actual color. And grab the olive, and I'm just going back over a little few of those spots. And actually, we're gonna leave it like that. I don't think I need to add the grass green. Okay. I'm gonna come in here, just add some wispy white to the clouds, right through the center of them. anything that feels hard, lines, or like that. Um, you know, like there's a little blob right here that's kind of a hard line. You can just bring your pencil over it. It'll break it up into pieces and it won't look so, it won't look so streaky or blobby, whatever you want to call it. And come through the water a little bit. All done with that part. So we've done all of our black, all of our white, and now we have the final details. We're going to do that. I think we're going to use the Daler Rowney today. Let me open this. It always kind of annoys me a little because the cap gets like gross. You set that like that. You set that like that. And I'm going to grab the very tiniest one. Let me put this here. What we're going to do now is we're just going to add some sparkliness to her outfit. And then we're going to add some details to the flowers. Deep breaths. So I'm going to start up here. I'm just going to add little dots. This kind of gets a little messy on me sometimes. I don't like to use gel pens, and I'll tell you why. I struggle with gel pens. They're always clogging on me. I've used the best gel pens on the market, and they're not my friend. I need to stir this up a little bit more. Give me a second. Give me a second! Yeah, that's too cakey. Ew. I might have to look online and figure out how to thin this out. It dries off pretty quick. It dries up pretty quick. But I find that it works really well for this. I'm trying to be really random here. I'm not very great at that, but I know the faster I go, the more random it looks. It is a little bit annoying to have to go back and forth into the jar, but it's a lot less annoying than me trying to use a gel pen. I don't know what my deal with gel pens are, but when I'm coloring with them, that's one thing. But when I'm trying to do detail work with a white gel pen, they clog on me, they streak. I just don't like it. I think I'm tired of listening to the news right now. Let's see if we can find something else. How about some art videos? Yay. Do. Okay, we'll start here. Yay. And yes, I wipe it off frequently because it does dry quick. And the more product you let build up on there, the bigger your dots get. So right now I'm using the tiniest dotting tool that I have. And we're going to come back in a little bit and I'm going to use a bigger one. I'm trying to keep most of the white in the white and then just kind of letting it drift over the other areas. Oh, that was a big one. Oops. And I want more of them up here at the top. Okay. Now I'm gonna get real random here. Watch. Sit back. Just tap this wherever. Okay, and sit back again. All right. Down the arms and kind of in the areas where the light hits on the ooh, that's a lot. Alright, I'm actually not going to use a bigger tool and do the rest of the dress. I'm not. I'm gonna use the same size throughout this because my dots are actually getting a lot more variation than I usually get. I'm gonna put this back in my mouth. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna come through the flowers now. These ones. Ah! Why are they coming out so big right there? Dang it. This is like the last thing we're gonna do here. I'm being quite messy and smudgy with the ones up here. Because I'm trying to give it that little impressionistic kind of look. Alright. Guys. I'm calling it done. I'm basically just in time. It's almost lunchtime. Okay. All right. We have glittered up. We have detailed. We have added sparkling. We've added some white details on the flowers, which I can kind of smash a little bit. Any of the ones that are still wet. We've sparkled up the dress. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. Are you ready to see all three of these side by side? All right. Remember, this one we just did with Copic. I've got pan pastel and colored pencil. And then the first one I did was Spectrum Noir markers. What do we think? It's going to be hard to choose a favorite, honestly. As weird as the coloration is on this, I do like how it came out. I will say there's lots of shininess on this. If you look, you can see where the ink shiny. And that happens when the Spectrum Noir markers build up ink on the top. I don't have that over here. And I'm really happy about that because that shininess gets sticky and it makes it hard to work with. I really love how this tree came out. I did that kind of totally different than the other two. There's a much more impressionist look to this one. I think these flowers back here came out pretty good on this one. I didn't go through and put the white details on this one. It just wasn't all that necessary. If you would like to see a video of me doing all three of these, or rather, if you'd like to see a video of me doing these two, let me know. I can certainly chop that up and do it. Let's see, which one's my favorite rainbow? This one's definitely my favorite rainbow. Which one's my favorite monkeys? You can go with this one too. My favorite Emerald City is this one. My favorite tree is definitely this one, but I like this one too. This one I'm not too fond of. I managed it, but it was very shiny and sticky. What about the broom? Honestly, I like this broom the best. This is my favorite dress. This is the best hat. I like this hair better. I think that the skin came out really good on this one. This is definitely my favorite Yellow Brick Road. I like these tulips the best. And the greenery, like the stems. Yeah, I love the look on all three of them. This is my favorite water. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like this section of grass on any of them. I think this is my favorite sky. Right there. I like the purple tone of it. I did that with the pan pastel. As far as the cloud shapes, I like this one the best because I always end up with weird cloud shapes. Overall, I'm not sure which one is my favorite. So we're gonna name this one number 1, this one number 2, and this one number 3. And I would love to hear from you in the chat or the comments below. Which one is your favorite? I had a lot easier time working with the Copics. Absolutely. I had a lot easier time with dealing with streakiness, and there's a quality to Spectrum Noir where it gets very muddy. And I don't know if you can see this down here on the stems and the flowers. There's a level of shiny yucky to it that I just can't get over. I don't like that. When I color with markers, I don't want shininess. If there's shininess, I want to add it myself. And also, whenever it's shiny like that, it's a buildup of the ink without the alcohol in it. It sits on top of the paper. And then when you go over it, the marker tip kind of sticks and skips. I did not have any of that here. In fact, the only place that I noticed any shininess at all while doing this was up here on the shoulder. When I first went over it after the blob happened, it was kind of shiny and sticky right there, but we worked through that. They're both pretty, but I'll show you a really good example here of the difference between the two products. Look at the rainbows. This one is so smooth and not desaturated, and the colors are true, and the blending on the edges came out really nice. Now look at this one. Can you see the streakiness, the desaturation of the colors, and how they're not really truly blended, and there's that sharp edge at the top and bottom? That's honestly just a difference of the materials. Y'all, this has been so much fun. I've really enjoyed doing these 3 classes in 3 different ways. Now, I have also got this class I've already done in colored pencil. Let me see if I can put this next to one of them that it'll match up to the best. I don't know. Let's see. How about that? See if I can overlap it a little. So if I put like a little frame in between them, you won't notice that they're a little bit off. And then we put this one next to it. Watch out, active bunny. This one looks so dark up against that one. That's the Spectrum Noir. I've always found that the colors come out really dark. And then, let's see, the pan pastel and colored pencil one. They don't exactly match up very well as far as like position. Okay, so now that we've done Elphaba, would you be interested in seeing me do this image in Copic marker? Would you like to see how that comes out? I can definitely do the color conversions using, I can use Sarah Renee Clark's color companion actually to convert from the Spectrum Noirs. I'm sorry, from the Prismacolors to the Copics. It shouldn't be an issue at all. I'm thinking I might do that. But we'll think on it. Last thing we're gonna do before we end the day I don't think I'm going to be coming back for an afternoon stream today. I can barely tolerate the pain in my mouth. Let's open this colorless blender. It said on the internet, the instructions I found said if you're not sure how much ink to put in your marker, it's not completely dry, to just add 1 millimeter or milliliter. So there's 12 milliliters in here. Okay, let me figure out which one we need to work on. This one, I can tell because it's still slightly green. Okay, there's another way you can do it too, which is by weighing it, and I do have the perfect scale for that. I used to use it, well, I still use it on my spectrum markers, but we're not going to do it by weight today. I'm trying to do this the easiest way they say you can do it. Okay, so I'm going to grab, this is a specialized tweezer for pulling these off. I'm going to grab the nib, the chisel nib. I'm going to open this. Okay, it screws off. This should be super easy. I'm going to try and add just 1 milliliter. Where's the... Well, it doesn't squeeze that easy, does it? A little bit more. I'm kind of estimating here, because the idea for me is, can I fill this up really quickly while I am using them? All right, that's pretty much enough. I think that's more than I needed to put in. Now we put the chisel tip back into the marker. And we allow it to equalize. If that was as easy as it is to fill up a Copic marker, I want to jump with joy right now, like scream, because one day I'll show you how difficult it is to fill up the Spectrum Norm markers. It's like crazy. Oh yeah, that's a full marker, y'all. Can I tell you something? That made me really happy. That was super satisfying. It literally takes me about 15 minutes per marker to fill up my Spectrum Norm markers. And that was it. That was all I had to do. Oh my goodness. Why didn't I give myself this break years ago? So there we go. That's how you fill up a Copic marker. Thumbs. Okay. It is my lunchtime. I don't think I'm going to be coming back today. But if I can get this to stop hurting a little bit, just give me a little bit of relief, I will. Otherwise, you'll probably see me on Sunday. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. This is Periwinkle Palace Arts. I'm Princess Bun Bun, here with all my Bun Buns. Say bye, Elektra. Bye. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, click the notification bell so you'll be notified the next time I go live. And I can't wait to see you again. Bye! Oh, we did art here. Yeah, we did art here.